Hello and welcome to Out of Curiosity. I'm your host, Mz.ChiGurl, and as you can see today, I have a guest. We have Just Another Boy joining us for our topic today. So, Just Another Boy, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Um,
Not a wow.
it's formal when you ask somebody to tell you about yourself. I don't know what to tell you at this point. All I can say is,
Oh God.
what?
Nothing.
See,
Go ahead.
you know what? This
Go
this
ahead.
this yin and yang thing, it is what it is. Um,
Oh,
I'm
forget it. I'll tell it.
okay.
So,
All right, thank you.
oh, just so you guys know, as you can see, we know each other. So, we were talking on the phone one day, and I was asking him about, well, before I get into that, I'll tell you how we know each other. We used to work together. And so I don't know how many years we worked together. Dang, it was so long ago. Um, uh, huh?
6 years.
We worked for 6 years? Dang. Okay. Anyway, we used to work together. And when he first came to our office to interview for a position, he used to train us because he was with a different department. And this mofo came over here like he knew us, and tapping hugs. And I'm like, who's the dude? You don't know me like that.
She's right.
I'm sorry.
It was. It was the worst.
Then it was funny. They put him behind me because we used to have cubicles back then.
That's
And
right.
I said, I'm going to keep my distance from him. He seemed like
He
he's
did.
trouble.
How long did that
Just
last?
refused to not like interact with me. He decided to make himself talk to me. And the only way he got to me is he started telling me stories about his family, and it cracked me up. That's the way it always get to me, is make me laugh. So he started telling me stories, and then he became like my work bestie at that time. So that's telling them something about you. Oh, we weren't work besties?
Um, Work husband, work wife, right?
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to say that. I didn't know if you were going to get offended.
Oh,
Excuse me.
we worried about getting offended at this point, right? Yeah, okay. We'll look past that. Yeah, no. All right, Vicky.
Anyway, fast forward. As you can see, we still stay in contact with one another, even though he lives in a whole nother state. And so I called him one day and we're just chatting it up. And all of a sudden we're talking and I keep hearing him say, Alexa, 10 minutes. Alexa, stop. Alexa, 10 minutes. Alexa, stop. Like, why do you keep doing that? And he's like, what? And I'm like, you keep talking to Alexa, like, I don't know. I was like, no, actually, I'm going to rephrase it. Actually, what I said was, why do you men do this? And so that's when it turned into, what did you say?
I have no idea what I said at that point.
God, dog. He acting brand new on here, y'all. Anyway, so he says,
Still attacked.
why do you feel attacked? I'm just giving him a little,
Go ahead, go ahead. Show.
okay.
It's you.
So I said, but I think my audience is used to this. I laugh all throughout my videos. Anyway,
Yes. Tower.
that's part for the course, right? Yep. See, there goes. Tell them about that.
At some point, yeah.
Oh
Well,
God, never mind. Good.
I mean,
Anyway, go ahead.
what I will say is this. Yeah, 6 years we worked quite closely hand in hand, but we still work together. So it's not like, It's just that I've moved in a different department, and it is what it is. Work's work.
He was making moves, y'all, and he kept
Uh,
trying to get me to make moves.
Come on, where's my camera? Yes, I was trying to get her to make. I really was, and she refused. She's stubborn.
No, no,
So,
no, no,
so
no,
I'm gonna
no.
give you my version of me
Oh
coming to
Lord, now,
coming into the
now
group,
you
right?
engaged. Go ahead.
Right. So I come there. I'm like this new guy. I don't know any of these people, and I see some of my sisters, right? And I go out and I try to embrace them. She's the only one being indifferent. She's the only one like I'm not talking to him, and she turns around. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna kill her with kindness, and that's exactly what I did. And look where we are today. And as you can tell, she loves to laugh. So it's you anything that you say funny, she's gonna laugh. And one of our coworkers gave her this nickname, Tawa, and Tawa means laughter. And so we just call her Tawa, and she that's just her thing. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But
You also called me Miss Giggles. That was the other name.
yeah, there were a few names that you had, and rightfully so. Because Miss Shy Girl, right there, that giggle that's what she do all the time. Um,
Anyway,
right.
wait,
So it was
we're
more like
getting
y'all
off
know.
topic. I'm gonna just tell them real quick. I love this about our interaction because it was like sometimes we'll be working and he would like really be into work and concentrate and everything, and I'll be sitting there like I'm bored. So I told him I was SpongeBob and he was Squidward. And as SpongeBob used to say, it's time to buy the Squidward.
Oh, if
Anyway, back on topic.
if they
Back on
only
topic.
yes, we'll
Let's
get
get
back
it
to that.
together.
We will definitely get back to some of the chaos that used to go on at work. Trust me, trust me.
Anyway, so I'm on the phone with him and I'm listening to him talking to Alexa. And I'm like, why do you men do this? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then I think actually before we got to what are you talking about, he said, what men are you talking about? And I said, you men, I said, men that I've dated, they talk crazy to Alexa or they like overuse it. It's like you don't need to use Alexa that much. And so then this turns into a whole thing. Well, who are these men? And I'm like, I think you may have said something to the extent of people I was intimate with. And I was like, well, that's not true because I'm including you. And I said, I've never been intimate with you. So that was the little story I was trying to get him to remember. But he acts like he's older than me. Oh, that's another thing. So it's like an 8-year difference between us. So he's actually a millennial. He's not a Gen X. I talk about generations on here. So you're a millennial. So this is my interaction with millennials, y'all. Anyway, so back to our topic. I wanted to talk about why it appears that men need to use digital assistants a lot. From my experience, what I've seen is it's typically single men who have a digital assistant and they boss her around and abuse her. And so
Oh, I did not. Okay. Whew.
talk about that. And I'm going to tell you what I've seen on the news, and you tell me why you do it.
Hey. Well, I thought that I used it because I was, I don't know, thinking forward.
Uh-huh.
Because the technology exists and it makes my life easier. I can turn the lights on at a flip of a switch. I don't have to get up. I can remind myself to do everything that I need to remind myself of. So it's something that has enhanced my life in a way that, I probably didn't have when I wasn't single. I'm going to say that because I am single now, quote unquote. Miss Shy Girl, just think about if you were here and I was saying, hey, Miss Shy Girl, can you turn on the light for me? You probably would do that once or twice, but after a while, you're like, oh, you turn it on yourself. So technology gives me the ability to do that. It's the same thing about, hey, can you remind me to do this? Or can you remind me to make this appointment? I can tell, my technology and it'll do that. And so I don't have to rely on you or, someone else in that matter. So that's the reason why. And then plus men love gadgets. Like, the new it thing is it's fun. It's fun to put it together. It's fun to program it. And it's fun to be able to use it. And so once you buy some of that kind of stuff, the technology, you really want to try to put it to use the best you can. So I've done it across my house. It's in all my rooms. I know that they're listening to me. And yeah, they're probably gonna get some good stuff, but I don't think I abuse it.
Not some good stuff. I'll come back to that in a minute. But anyway, what I want to know
Don't
is,
ask something you don't want to know. That's all I'm saying.
we nosy over here. We want to know. But anyway, I want to ask you what I heard when I was on the phone. You were on the phone, and like I said, it's like we're talking, and then while we're talking, Alexa, 10 minutes on my time.
10 minutes.
Alexa, stop timer. And it wasn't 10 minutes hadn't even passed. Alexa, 10 minutes on the timer. Alexa, stop timing. To me, that was excessive. Would you talk to a woman like that?
Pause for a second.
You want me
Not doing
to
it
mute
because
it?
yeah, because it answered you a few minutes ago. I forgot to pause it.
Oh my God.
All right.
Not the thing listening to the video, but
All right.
okay, go ahead.
What was your question again?
Do
Would
you
I do
think
that
it
to a
was
woman?
excessive?
Yeah.
Yes. And would you do that to the woman?
No. I don't think I would do it to a woman, but I mean, it's casual, right? It's not so much ordering her around. I think you got to take it from a different perspective, right? Um, just it's something I will definitely say is probably overused, and you don't really think
Mm-hmm.
about it, right? Like I'm just being me. It's like, hey, turn the light on, and sometimes I'll walk in the room past the light switch and give the command, Alexa, turn on primary light or whatever. It's just
Mm-hmm.
easy to do. I don't think about it that way, and I hope that the women out there are not thinking that their men are trying to control them when they ask them to do something or tell them to do something. Because sometimes it doesn't always come in the form of a question, right? Sometimes it's, hey, turn off the light. But it really is a question. It's not him trying to order you around. Hopefully you think you see it that way. So
Okay, well, let me tell you what.
uh-oh.
So I researched it because we talked about research. So this was an article from PC Mag. Now it's a little outdated. It's from January 4th, 2018. And it says the real reason voice assistants are female and why it matters. Really, you had to roll your eyes? Don't do that. Listen, I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to get to the juice of it. It says, whatever you ask a synthesized version of a woman likely answered you polite and differential, pleasant, no matter the tone or the topic. That's because Siri, Alexa, and Cortana and their four mothers have been doing this work for years, ready to answer serious questions and deflect ridiculous ones. Though they lack bodies, they embody what we think of when we picture a personal assistant, a competent, efficient, reliable woman. She gets you to meetings on time with reminders and directions, serves up reading materials for the commute, and delivers relevant information on the way we like the weather and the traffic. Nevertheless, she is not in charge. When performing, what? Were you going to say something?
Nope, go right ahead.
Okay. And so it says, when performed by humans, these tasks have sociological and psychological consequences. So one might think when using an emotionless AI as a personal assistant, we would erase concerns about outdated gender types. But companies
All
have
right, all right.
repeatedly.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough. Okay, look, I am going to prove you wrong, right? And let me do this.
You proved me
Hold on
wrong.
a second. Hold on a second. Just listen. Think about what you said and just listen because everybody's not the same.
Oh, you almost sound like you're talking to Alexa. Go ahead.
Alexa, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for asking.
Alexa, can you repeat that?
Sorry, there is nothing to repeat.
So
Got smart with you.
one of the things you said was that, you know, your profile, your response was based off of them saying men like to control women. But my Alexa voice is not a woman.
See?
I'm gonna take it to another level. Hey
Mm-hmm.
Siri, what's the weather today?
Of course, it's not working now.
Let me unlock it. Hey Siri, what's the weather today? It wants to give me
I
like
get your point. You changed it to a male voice. Okay. So
correct.
you're one of the woke people then. Because actually, when I saw that information on the news a few years ago and that men automatically defaulted to a woman, I actually went into my settings and I did the same thing as you. I changed it to male voices. So my GPS is a man,
Correct.
and well,
Correct.
that's the only voice I use. Yeah. So I
And,
changed it to a male voice.
and my point is with that is I changed it because I wanted it to be something that was relatable. Even with Siri. So Siri, I changed it to not only a male voice, but I changed it to the male voice that sounds, urban, right? Persona that they use that sounds urban, because I wanted it to reflect me. And that was the purpose for doing that. And and so even when I'm, reading, I'm having the phone read to me, or I'm in the car, like you said with GPS, it is, responding in a way that I can definitely relate to. And so that's the method for it. But just thinking about this different, like, right? I love gadgets in general.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I love gadgets, and I think for me it gives me access to try out new things, and it's just technology. And then plus, technology is cool. Men like cool things. Um, I'm not gonna say it's some type of social status or anything like that, but I mean any type of symbol that showcases some level of savviness. Men like those things usually, and I'm not saying that women don't. I'm just saying like men usually kind of take to it, and anything that we think can make our lives easier, we go for it. And sometimes that are women, you know. Sometimes that's a woman.
No, I get that because like my son, he brought me into I guess the new technology world and got me a smartwatch. And I was like, I'm not spending $300 on a dang watch like this. But because, I've told my audience this, that I started having health issues. And so now I use it to actually track some of that. And then I fell in love with it because it tracks my sleep. And so I actually get to see how much
Yep.
sleep I'm getting and how much is actually in REM and deep sleep and all that stuff. And like when I'm tired, I'm able to see why I'm tired. Oh, I didn't get enough deep sleep last night. That's why I'm dragging around here today. But
So it's interesting. Wait, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but it's interesting now. You are also using the technology that you wanted to persecute me for.
this isn't a digital assistant.
It is.
No, it's not. It doesn't talk to me.
It doesn't need to talk to you to be an assistant.
I think you want your assistant to talk to you. So
Not
yeah,
necessarily.
I beg to differ.
Okay, I see where we're going with this. This is how it always is with you. Okay.
You tell me, if you hired an actual person as an assistant, do you want them to just blink at you to communicate, or are they
That's
going to speak?
exactly what your son did, Mz.ChiGurl. He got a digital assistant for you to put on your wrist.
It doesn't speak.
Okay. Today it doesn't speak. Tomorrow it might.
It could, but guess what? Like this thing was going off with all the bells and rings and all that stuff. I muted all the noise.
What's the point in that? So
I don't
you
need
spend the
to
money.
see my notifications. I got my phone for that.
Yeah, but sometimes your phone is not in your hand. So you get a
Okay, if
notification.
my phone isn't in my hand, then I don't need to know what's going on.
Touche. But you might miss something that you need to know, right?
No,
So
if it's something I need to know, I'm gonna have my phone in my hand.
what I will say is this. I mean, there may be an opportunity that I need to look at my watch and respond back to a text quickly. I can do that. I'll give you a good example. I don't text and drive, right? But if a text comes across it, I can quickly look at it. I can respond by just tapping the button on there, and it automatically sends a response. Or if it's something that's longer, right? I can click in the window and then the mic automatically comes up and I'm like, hey, I'm driving. I'll talk to you in a bit. And it'll send a message. So there are benefits to having this technology, and I think that I think it serves us right to use it. So
Or I can wait till I stop driving and say, "Hey, sorry I was driving. What's up?"
yeah, I mean that happens sometimes, but sometimes that's not necessarily the case. I want more than that.
So why can't we just wait until you stop driving?
Usually I do, but there are times where I can't.
Please give me an example of when you have to text while you're driving and it's easy to use your watch.
Um, Alexa, cancel.
Uh-huh.
That's the timer that you set up while you were talking about Alexa. Because she heard you, he heard you, they heard you. So,
First of
um,
all, Alexa shouldn't be able to recognize my voice. I thought it's supposed to be voice
mm-mm.
specific.
For Siri, it is on your personal device because you train it. But for Alexa, it's whomever. So anyone inside that says the name, she starts listening for the next command.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to do that if I'm around somebody again because I be wanting to cut some stuff off. Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait. But that's only if they have their stuff set up that way, right? So if their home is automated.
Ah,
So like my
okay.
light switches and stuff, all that stuff is set up that way. But if they don't have that and it won't work, then the only thing they could use it for is like the weather and maybe they can call people from it, etc. But all of that depends. The light switches, all the lights. You could do this by maybe your light switch is not smart, right? I'm gonna say unsmart. You could have.
No.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want you to say
You
I
know what's
attacked
funny? My
you.
mom says that. No, my mom says that because like when she wanted to get a new phone, she was like, "I want one like yours," and I was like, "You don't need a smartphone." And so she said, "You want me to keep a dumb phone?" So, but go
Okay,
ahead.
well,
I'm sorry, I distracted you.
no. I was just thinking because there are like light bulbs you can buy that can connect to Wi-Fi, so that'll make the
Right.
room smart within that room, right? So you have options today that kind of help us to be better. And sometimes when you might have your son, if he's at home and you're in bed, you're not feeling well, you want to turn the light off. But if he's not, no one's there, you can call out a command and say, "Hey, Alexa, turn the light off," and Alexa will do that. And you don't have to get up or on for that matter.
Yeah, it's not that serious with my light, but okay.
But that's just one use case, right? Like I can think of thousands of use cases where it's beneficial. I'm falling and I can't
Okay.
get up. Alexa, call
Uh-huh.
911. You know.
Well, that's what's good about my phone is I can say Google, call 911.
So you are using it. That's what I'm hearing from you.
On my phone.
That's the same thing.
I use it sporadically, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a
Again,
hypocrite.
it's a male
She's a
voice.
hypocrite. Okay.
No. Okay, let me show you something because it's not just me. The people on South Park actually made a cartoon or episode about
Talking
it.
about South Park. I don't know the people.
I'm gonna share my screen,
Okay.
okay? And let's see. Okay, can wait? No, let's see. I gotta select it. Oh, it won't let me select it. Why won't it let me select
It's a
it?
sign.
Shut. Let me see if it's somewhere else.
See, this is how she used to be at work. Those snappy, whippy comments.
I,
I'm
that's
serious.
why I'm about to prove to you why. Because, most of the men I date, they say my mouth gets me in trouble.
You
And
used to be
I'm
abused
going to
at work.
prove to you this is why. Because you mofos want to control me. You want to control my mouth. Dang it. I did not know it would not let me show it. Oh, I'm going to have to figure out another way to put it on here. Dang it. I had it all prepped and everything so you could see it. I wanted to show everybody what I was talking about. You guys suck. Anyway, so back to our point. So you're saying that I'm a hypocrite, and I'm saying no, I'm not. I'm just saying maybe it's the men I deal with are not woke enough to know that they should have a voice, or they could change it to something other than a female, or maybe they prefer to bounce around females, which is why I am still
Or
single.
maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have. They're not even thinking about that, and maybe you see it that way. Maybe we need to talk about that on another show episode.
You want to know why I see it that way? I'm going to be truthful with you now. This might be
Enlighten
a
me.
little embarrassing for me. These mofos talk to the Alexa and say, Alexa, you bitch, cut on such and such and such.
Okay. All right. So that's a bit extra. And okay. So what I'm gonna say to this is choose better men.
I knew it. I knew you were going to do that. And yes, my son already chastises me about my male preferences. He says that from his experience, because he hasn't seen me. So I was one of those mothers. I didn't have men around my child when I was growing up.
I
So he didn't
remember.
start seeing me date until he turned 18. And so since he's been 18, the men he's met, he said that his dad was the best one I picked.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit. That's a little bit of bias in that.
Well, not necessarily, because he and his dad don't get along. So for him to say his dad was the best, he's saying that my choices are really bad.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to talk about any specific city or anything, but what I will say is, dating is hard
Oh, tell me
at
about
our
it.
age, and dating is not easy. And I mean, it's I wouldn't take, and I'm just going to use this situation where we talked about the guy kind of abusing it or saying some profanity to the system. I think sometimes when you have somebody around or in earshot, we have a tendency to do what we have a tendency to show off a little bit, and I think that he might have been doing that more so just abusing
It
it
was
because
two.
she's yeah, the two both of them could have been 10. They're showing off or what have you, thinking that it looks good and it doesn't, right? And so you see
Hmm.
it as that, and I would take it as that. I would take it as them just being um, hyper masculine is what I would call it. And
Okay.
maybe that's something we can kind of like unpack later. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't take it as them wanting to just be controlling to men or women or just to people in general. I think that they're just being hyper masculine, and they're actually trying to show off in a way that they think you might think is good.
I don't know what gave him that impression. It's not good
And
to me.
there may have been other women that have given that impression, but men in general want to impress women.
Mm.
You know,
Interesting.
they may want to order them around, but they do want to impress women. And it's
Hmm.
not just in our species. It's males of all species on that walk on Earth.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they do want to impress, and at the end of the day, I think that it was more about that than just trying to order it around. Now there are some men who don't. There's some men who want to take advantage. Of course, you're going to have those, but and I'm not saying that men are perfect, right? But
Right.
I think that like I don't need to do that because I'm well adjusted and it's just not my
Oh
thing.
my God.
Yeah, I've had those
Be
moments.
humble, why don't you?
I mean I've had those moments where we clown. Like I have my nieces and nephews here, or my son is here, and they'll say something crazy to Alexa because they don't know. They're like they'll say play this and she'll play the wrong song, and then they'll
Right.
call it stupid or something or whatever. I don't take it as a bad thing. I just take it as mischievous fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right. But, well, before we wrap this up, I'm going to circle back to what we talked about before. What don't you want Alexa to hear?
I mean, there are a
Oh,
lot
you
of
quiet now. You said
there are a
don't
lot. I
ask.
mean, there are a lot of moments that she probably shouldn't hear that happens in the house, And just look for all your listeners out there that hear this, right? Your smart device has a folder. Like if you can trickle down through your Alexa, to your Amazon app to a folder that has all the recordings because it is listening to things that go on and it only reacts mostly to you calling a name and what comes after that. So there are certain little sound bites that might be there that you can go and delete. So just want to put that out there. Um, but I mean, obviously I have private time. So whether that private time is one on one, right? Or whether it's one and another. There are moments in there where, people might not want to hear, or they
Right.
might want to hear, hey.
I know all the stuff that's coming out nowadays. They probably do want to hear it.
It's no different than Facebook, right? So the minute we talk about something, it shows on your feed, right? Whether you're talking about
Hmm.
something vacation wise or something you want to buy. And the first thing we do, black folks, right? We say, oh, the universe is trying to tell me, God is trying to tell me to buy this item. But you don't realize that they just heard you say it 30 minutes ago, and that's why you're seeing it on your feed 100 times because they're listening. So, I
No,
mean,
actually, I was gonna say the opposite. I think that's why they say I don't want. What was it? It was somebody I knew who didn't want something on their phone because they were like they're tracking you. They're listening to everything you're saying. And so I think they do know nowadays that the advertisements that they're seeing is because they're listening to us and tracking our cookies and so forth. But yeah,
a good bit of people do know, right? But then there are
yeah.
some who don't, right? Who really think the
Mm-hmm.
universe is telling them to buy it. Like, if they see it as a sign. So you're right. Yeah, not everybody's that naive, but
Mm-hmm.
people are waking up to it. But it's invasive, and I understand, intrusive, I should say. I understand
Yeah.
why people, might feel skeptical about using technology and being replaced by it because we see it happening at our jobs. We see it happening at the stores we shop at where there's self checkout. Now you can just put stuff in your cart and it'll tally it up.
Right.
So we see that and we think about how it's such a threat in other ways, and I think that's why people feel the way they feel. So
Well, definitely,
I don't
especially
know if
when
that
you
answers
have
your question.
people like our. What'd you say?
I said I don't know if that answers your original question, but
Yeah, you kind of maneuvered your way through it, but it was fine.
didn't think
It
you
was
wanted
fine.
to say
It was a very PC response. And so it's good for our listeners. You didn't get raunchy with it, so it was very nice.
it's too strong for that. This is my first episode, so
I know. Oh, so there's gonna be more?
I don't know. Let's see what the people say.
I know. We'll see what they say. Because
Yeah.
I do have another topic that I told you I wanted to discuss. I'm not gonna tell the people and spoil it, but I have another topic that I think we could talk about, and it relates to our culture and raising our children. So we could talk about that. If you guys love this, because I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. On Just Another Boy, because I think we got a lot of good content here and response. And I want to see what the people think because the people also told me they don't like long videos. And so this video is going to be about 30 minutes. So I hope they'll check in for the whole 30 minutes.
I hope so too.
So I know. So people, if you love my guest host, Just Another Boy, let me know. I'll ask him back. If you love this topic, let me know. Please like and subscribe and comment. You guys, it's so funny. You guys are not liking the video. You call me, you text me if you know me, as opposed to liking my video. Please like the video. Please comment. I want to engage with you guys. I love the feedback. So please let us know your thoughts. I might even put a poll at the end of this video. And you tell me if you want Just Another Boy to come back. And based on that, we'll see if you get another go around.
I mean, they don't like me. They don't like me. It's whatever.
I
Just
know, but
kidding.
I enjoyed having you
You
here.
all like me. You all gonna want me to come back because like there's some stuff you guys need to know about Miss Shagger that only I can tell you.
Oh
So,
God. I
mm.
doubt that. I don't think they want to know whatever you think you know.
All right. My name is Just Another Boy. It was nice.
All right then. Thank you guys for tuning in and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.